So you're thinking about moving to Houston, you got a lot of things already figured out, but the one thing you have not figured out is when exactly you should make that move. In this video, I'm gonna tell you when is the best time to move to Houston, Texas. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Living in Houston, Texas channel. If you're new to this channel, it's all about what it's really like to live in Houston, Texas, the up, down, left, and right. What it's like to eat, sleep, and breathe here, and everything in between. If you're not new here, welcome back. Hey guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps everyone else that's looking for information about this channel find it easily. Also, to hit the subscribe button so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video on this channel. Okay, so why are we even talking about the best time to move to Houston, Texas? Why? Because this is a question that I get asked a lot from people that's looking for rentals and purchasing property as well. There's really no right or wrong answer, especially depending on what works best for you and your family. But I will give you some good tips and some good information on why not certain times may be better than others. So the first thing, guys, the weather in Houston, it is brutally hot in the summer, guys. I'm a native Houstonian. I've been living in Houston for 30 plus years and I'm still not used to how hot it gets in Houston. So from about May to September, you would expect it to be 90 degrees plus on a consistent basis. And to add on top of that, our humidity level here is extremely high. So whereas it's one thing to be hot, but it's one thing to be hot and humid. It's a really muggy, uncomfortable feeling, guys. So summer times may not be as ideal because it's so freaking hot, and if you're moving in and out, I mean, it's just a bad situation, or it can be a frustrating situation for everybody. Also, August, it's the peak time for our hurricane season, and guys, unfortunately, hurricanes and flooding is an active thing here in Houston, Texas. We don't get them every single year. Honestly, the last time we've had a major hurricane was 2007. This is 2023. So, you know, it's been a while, but I mean, just keep that in mind. You know, you never want to take that chance and be moving in the midst of a major storm. So just to kind of put some context to you guys, when we have a storm, a lot of the houses don't completely like topple over, just kind of depending on where you are, but you do have loss of power. You do have torrential flooding and things like that. So, I mean, just moving in the midst of a hurricane or flooding is not ideal. So with that, I do recommend moving late spring into the winter seasons. The winter is much more milder here compared to other cities, guys. If it snows here, I'm not gonna say something's wrong, but it's really unlikely that it would snow here. Our winters, the cold, and when it's really, really cold, you know, our winters are in the 40 degrees, but on average 50, 60, 70 degree weather consistently in the winter time as well. Like today is January the 7th and it's 70 degrees outside. I literally have on, you can't see me from head to toe, but I have on a dress that's a shorter dress above my knees, you know, no jacket, nothing like that, because we don't need it. It's a bright sunny day. I went outside, all the kids were playing like normal here. So, you know, you can really expect to have a good weather in our winter time. Actually, that would be great for moving. Okay guys, so the next factor that you want to consider is the housing competition. People like to move in the summertime, guys. They don't like to uproot the kids. And so they don't like to take the kids out of school or move the kids during school season and things like that. So a lot of families do try to move in the summertime. That makes it a more competitive market in the Houston market. It makes it way more active. So, you know, if you're looking at, hey, what's the best time for me to move in terms of what type of competition I'll have out there, your competition does go up in the summertime. But typically after school starts, we get into the later spring, some of those cooler months and things like that, you do see buyers having more of an advantage. You see inventory coming back to the market is not as competitive. So you actually can get better deals when you purchase homes in those later spring, winter months. And honestly, holiday season, it was really slow this holiday season. And soon as the holiday ended and turned around, like the market started picking back up. We started getting tons of phone calls and things like that. So really take advantage. I know it can be an inconvenience if you have the children to, you know, uproot them during the school times and things like that. But in terms of competitiveness and things like that, and your buyer advantage, and you're having that competitive advantage, you will see better options during those later months. Another thing you want to consider is the cost of moving, guys. Because there's so much activity in the summertime, housing services are typically in much more demand, and you typically see prices rise. When demand go up, so does prices. So like the cost of movers and other home services, you probably will see that price increase, and we have seen that. People don't think about that often, but that is a factor here. You know, prices are inflated in the summer months. So when you want to bring movers and things like that, especially if you're moving like from state to state, factor in that, because that can be a hefty cost. But here's one thing you guys don't think about in Texas is our property taxes, right? Property taxes are much more steeper here compared to many other cities, and they're paid yearly, right? So therefore, whoever lives in the home, you're responsible for the taxes for the amount of time that you lived in the home that year. Let me give you guys an example. Let me break this down. I'm a homeowner and I sell my home in September, right? So I'm still responsible for taxes from January to September. And whoever buys my home is responsible from the date they move in September through December 31st, right? So basically I'm absorbing most of the taxes for that year. So you guys get what I'm saying? If you purchase a home later in the year, you're not responsible for that full tax bill for the entire year. So that really can cut your tax costs in half. Let me put some round numbers to this, guys. So in Houston, our tax rate is, I'm just gonna do a general average about 3%. It's lower inside the city, a little bit higher in the suburbs. We're gonna do an average of 3%. So if you have a $500,000 home with a tax rate of 3%, that's $15,000 in taxes that you have to pay for the year. Now, but if you only own the home for 2 or 3 months out of that year, you're paying a fraction of that $15,000. So a lot of people don't think about that, but that is something definitely to consider. So guys, honestly, there's really no better time to move, especially when the time is right for your family. But you do want to consider the market conditions, the weather, the competition here, and those moving and tax expenses. So guys, my name is Nicole Handy. I'm the team leader of the Nicole Handy real estate team here in Houston, Texas. And we get so many people reaching out to us every day about their move to Houston. They text us, they call us, they email us. You can do the exact same because we absolutely love it. So do me a favor, you can text anytime, you can call me right now, or you can skip all that and schedule an appointment using the Calendly link below. Either way, we would love to help you with your move to Houston, Texas.